I love the idea of this character because she shows up and she thinks she's getting this job, and David Tennant has the job.
Right.
And you have this resentment, obviously, but you continue to work with him.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, I know as an actor in this business, I'm sure that happens sometimes where you go out for a part, someone else gets the part. Do you have to work with that person again, and how do you kind of get over that element?
Well, I never really, I don't see it as a competition really, so it's like, the feeling I got, or that I chose to proceed with through my career was, whoever is supposed to end up with that part is going to end up. Right. The person who's meant to play that part is going to play it. And it has really often nothing to do with if somebody's a better actor or anything like that. It literally is about who fits the character the best.
Right.
Now, in the case of Ellie and Carver, it's a different thing because she's been working for a long time to get that promotion, and she feels she deserves it. At the same time, you really get to see that she understands that she has never worked a big murder case, and she's a rookie in that sense. Even though she's been, at her job and she's good at her job for a long time, she's been in a small town where not too many things have happened. And so to be hit with those two things on the same day, to be hit with, I didn't get the promotion I've been working for and hoping for, and the second giant hit, obviously, is the tragic death of her son's best friend.
Right.
And you get to, I think what you get to see, which is so lovely, is the type of human being she is, because she is not somebody who's bitter or is going to hold on to anger or resentment. She gets angry for a short time, and then when she has to put her focus on what she needs to do, she does.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really, that was one of the elements of her character that I liked so much.
Yeah. Now, as a mother in real life, you obviously have a mother in Breaking Bad, and you're playing your mother in real life. So I'm wondering, when you play a mother in a show, and in this show you're a detective, does being a mother affect the way you approach the character at all? And the fact that a young boy does die in this show, I'm sure for a mother, it's got to be crazy for you.
It does, and I was lucky when I was doing research for the role. I met with three different, I met with two cops, and I met with a woman from the FBI. And there was two of them were women, and they were both mothers. And so they gave me the viewpoint that was really important. I mean, obviously, being a mother does affect everything you do in any job.
Yeah.
And you're always trying to juggle and balance that, and sometimes you feel like you can never give enough to either your job or your kids, and it's this constant sort of balancing act. And I think every working mom, every mom has it, bar none. But it was interesting to talk to the female detective and the FBI agent, because they had to do something that's kind of against human nature, which is they had to sort of compartmentalize their lives. And so when they were on the job, they had to really just put their focus on that and put the family stuff away until the job, until the end of your workday.
How do you do that?
And they would tell me that sometimes if it was a particularly dark day, if it was something really serious happened at work, one woman told me that she would do whatever it took to shed the gravitas, basically, of that, so that she could go home and be a present and happy mom.
Right.
And she said it could be screaming in the car sometimes, it could be calling her best friend and talking it through, it could be singing, it could be, and she said I would do whatever it took, and if I pulled into my driveway and I hadn't gotten rid of all of it, I'd sit there until I got rid of the rest of it, because she really felt it was important never to bring it into her home.
Wow.
And I really admired that, and so she became sort of one of the real templates that I based Ellie on. I think Ellie tries to do that and finds it very difficult, because everything, it's such a small town, and it's her son's best friend, and so the overlap of all of that is so much for her to handle.
Right.
But it definitely colors what she does all the time.
Now, I have to show this to you. I got a tweet today from someone you know very well. You know her. She wrote a couple of episodes. So
yes.
she has a message for you.
Aww. Ask her about the act of God, freak hailstorm that held it, and that's right.
What happened on Ozymandias?
Well, it was the particular scene where Walt takes baby Holly and gets in the car and then drives off down the street, and I run and then fall to my knees. And true New Mexico weather. I mean, it changes, like it'll start off sunny and then in about 15 minutes it could, suddenly you're facing a blizzard. It did start snowing, so we were held up, then it started hailing, and then they cleared, and then the skies cleared, and they had to sort of, you know, heat the street and dry it off because I had to run down the street. So I had to keep myself in that state for about 2.5 hours straight.
Oh,
and
my God.
the poor ADs kept coming in and going, it'll be maybe another 10, and I was just listening to music and sort of, you know, doing, sitting in the corner of this room in this house, just trying to keep myself right there and focused.
Yeah.
And it was hard. And then of course, you know, we shot it probably in, I think we did about 3 takes of it, and that was it.
Amazing sequence.
It wasn't amazing. It was beautifully written and beautifully directed by Ryan Johnson.
Well, I love Ryan Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick nerdy question for you, because wrap me up. This is so nerdy, and I'm a geek about the show. If somehow Detective Ellie could have taken on the case of Walter White and had to solve that mystery,
Yeah.
how would she approach Walter White's case and try to take down who Heisenberg is?
Well, again, that's a good question. I like that. I think what I learned from these women that I interviewed, again, was that they have an advantage in a way as female detectives because they can use a softer, more nurturing side that actually tends to pull things out of people rather than a man going at a man. Sometimes, you know, it's a very different kind of chemical thing that happens. And so a woman sometimes can make whoever she's questioning feel much more comfortable than a male detective. And I think Ellie would be smart enough to know how to use that. In order to, you know, try to draw Walt out. Except he was so smart that it could have taken her a while. But that's what I love. She's very, very smart and intuitive, and she is the kind of person who knows that if there's something wrong, she feels it in her gut. She may not know exactly what it is right away, but she's one of those people who has, you know, she's a really good cop because she pays attention to her intuition.
Someone get Vince Gilligan on the phone, do Gracepoint Season 2, Finding Walter White. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.